Instead, she had been publicly exposed. Her lawyer stopped staring at her. He was staring at the floor, most likely re-evaluating every decision that had led him to take on this case. Meanwhile, Jessica was clutching the table's edge, as if she could somehow cling on to the remaining pieces of her plan. Then the tantrum began. Jessica's final desperate try. "But Your Honor," Jessica shouted out in a high-pitched voice. "This is not fair. I'm going to have a baby, and he can just walk away." The judge inhaled sharply and rubbed his temples. He was finished. "Miss Parker," he stated firmly, "this court does not render financial decisions based on emotional appeals. Your pregnancy has no legal bearing on this divorce until paternity is confirmed, which it has not, according to the evidence supplied." But the judge raised his hand. "Enough," Jessica snapped. She whirled in her chair, swinging her head at me. "Are you really going to do this to me? To your own child?" There it was. The final bet. Even after being publicly humiliated, she continued to spread mistrust. The courtroom became silent. Then I gave a leisurely, pleased, vicious smile. "You really want to do this, Jessica?" I leaned forward and spoke calmly. "Do you want to go on record accusing me of being the father? Because we can obtain a court-ordered paternity test straight away." Her face twitched. She had nothing. She knew she didn't have anything. Everyone else in the room felt the same way at that time. This time, the judge did not bother to react. He simply turned to the clerk. "The journal is done." Jessica had lost everything. But it wasn't finished yet. The hearing ended, but I wasn't done watching her break down. I went out of the courtroom with Ethan beside me, my mother following a few steps behind. I half expected Jessica to slip out quietly, but I should have known better. She stormed out after me, heels clacking, face flushed, hands shaking. "You're a monster," she snarled. "You let me sit there humiliated." I gently turned, examining her up and down. "I apologize, Jessica. Which part embarrassed you? The portion when you attempted to defraud the court, or the part where you knew I was 3 steps ahead?" Her jaw clenched. "You set me up." "No, sweetheart," I replied, smiling again. "You've set yourself up. I just let you walk in." She appeared to want to throw something at me, but then she attempted one more card. She turned to my mother. "Are you really cool with this? What did he do to me?" Mom hesitated and then crossed her arms. "I'm not okay with what you did to him," she told me. "You tricked us all once. Never again." Jessica's lips quivered. For a brief moment, I thought she may cry. Then comes the real explosion. "I hope you rot," she exclaimed, moving nearer as if she intended to claw at me. "I hope you—" "Miss Parker." The voice sounded from behind her, a severe official tone. Jessica froze. 2 court officers had entered the hallway. "Come with us, please." Her head snapped around. "What? Why?" "The judge has recommended an inquiry into potential perjury and fraud," a police officer added. "You'll need to answer some questions." Her eyes widened. "Wait, no, that's not—" However, they were already leading her back into the courtroom. I let out a slow breath. Ethan touched my shoulder. "Well, that was satisfying."